in order to understand what would be effective here, we have to understand the bigger mechanics of this. And what, as Stella said, it is about suppressing the truth, if you allow me to simplify it that way. This is what this is about. It's that the United States, but also its allies, this includes the UK, it includes Sweden, but it also includes Germany and others. None of those governments is interested in having someone like Julian Assange, who's promoting transparency, just roaming around and publishing their secrets. And although that's what press freedom is about, because it is the fourth estate and it's actually overseeing correct behavior of governments. But we have to realize that the Australian government is very deeply in bed, if you allow me to say, with the secret services in the US and the UK and Sweden and all the Western secret services or intelligence services. They're cooperating very closely. Now, that's not a conspiracy. It's just their operating modalities after 9/11. And they, I'm sure they're genuinely convinced that they're fighting terrorism and so on, but they have what has evolved in the last 20 years. And I can really say that because I've worked for all those 20 years in that precise area. What has developed is kind of a subculture, a parallel universe of intelligence services that keep very important information secret and that suppress evidence for ill treatment and other international crimes, and that prevent democratic societies from actually exercising their democratic control. This is how the Espionage Act and how the Official Secrets Act are being abused, what they're being abused for. And this is what this case is trying to establish, a basis to be able to use those pieces of legislation in order to suppress the truth, to prevent democratic societies from actually exercising their control and holding the authorities accountable. Now, if you don't believe me, just look at the facts. None of the war crimes that have been proven have been prosecuted. If those states were in good faith, they would never behave like that. So this is what this is about. They don't want to prosecute their misconduct, and so they persecute the person that exposes them. If we understand that this is the big mechanics, then it is logical that the governments don't support Julian Assange. But it is not in the interest of their own populations. It's because they're too closely intertwined without any accountability with foreign intelligence services. And so I think it is very important that the public becomes more aware of how things really work in practice, and that they start demanding accountability from their governments. And I think parliamentarians are absolutely key here, because you're the ones that are passing the laws. You are the ones who are in direct contact with your constituencies. You can trigger those dialogues, and it's not just about prosecuting bad guys. It's about changing this or ensuring that our system remains transparent, and where it's no longer transparent, it becomes transparent and accountable again. And so this is what this is really about. So I think it's absolutely, yes, it's crucial that parliamentarians have this dialogue, and that they also engage the population and show the population, their various constituencies, why this is so important in practice. Because the governments really are too close to the ball, and they are on a daily basis cooperating with other intelligence services, and they're basically paralyzed. And this is exactly what you see, how they respond to those questions from parliamentarians, how the governments in Germany or in Australia or elsewhere, how they respond to those questions. It's very evasive. They always, it's some form of platitudes that they tell you, but this is about the rule of law and we can't interfere with an ongoing proceeding and so on. But when it's about Navalny in Russia, they can very well interfere with an ongoing proceeding. So, and I'm not, I agree that Navalny's rights are being violated, but he is being detained for a bail violation. And that's why everybody imposes sanctions on Russia. But no one imposes sanction on the UK for detaining Julian Assange because of a bail violation, which is not really a bail violation because he received official asylum by a UN member state. And let me just close on this remark. Judge Bereitzer, who actually refused Julian Assange's extradition on the 4th of January based on medical grounds, and because she said that the US conditions of detention would be oppressive, she confirmed that Julian Assange was right in seeking asylum in Ecuador. She didn't say that, but he sought asylum in Ecuador, in the embassy, because he was afraid of being extradited to inhumane detention conditions. So he was right to ask for guarantees from Sweden, to ask for guarantees from the UK that they would not extradite him to the US. And he always offered that he would come out of the embassy if that were given. But both states refused to do that. And now even the magistrate courts confirmed that he was right, in essence.